Gyokuro brewing temperature is something that puzzles many people. Compared to other types of tea, the optimal temperature for Gyokuro is much lower, almost lukewarm. In this video, we're going to discuss why Gyokuro tea brewing temperature is so low and how you can prepare a great tasting cup of Gyokuro tea at home. Before we get started, it would really mean a lot to us if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for future tea videos. We have hundreds of videos on all sorts of topics related to Japanese green tea, but for this episode, we're going to focus on Gyokuro specifically. Without further ado, let's get started. What is Gyokuro? A quick refresher of what Gyokuro is might help you understand a little bit more about how to brew this tea. Gyokuro is considered to be the most sought-after leaf tea in Japan, and it was once the tea of choice for the emperor. To produce this tea, the leaves need to be shaded for 3 weeks before the harvest. By cutting the tea plants off from sunlight, they develop less bitterness and maintain more of these sweet and savory flavors. To harvest Gyokuro, the farmer takes the top 3 leaves as these are the highest in nutrients and the richest in flavor. These leaves are then steamed, tightly rolled, and dried to produce a delicious Gyokuro tea. Before we talk about the best Gyokuro tea temperature, we first have to talk about why temperature matters when it comes to Gyokuro and with tea in general. First, with the exception of matcha, tea isn't mixed directly into water, it's infused into water. This means that some compounds in the tea are going to stay inside the leaf and some are going to make it into the cup. This is why the brewing parameters are so important. The temperature and time you brew the tea will determine what is extracted from the tea and ultimately what ends up in the final cup. So next time someone tries to tell you that the Gyokuro water temperature doesn't matter, you can explain that it creates an entirely different tea. It would almost be like baking a cake using different ingredients. What is extracted from the leaf determines what is in the tea. Catechins are the bitter components within tea, and they tend to be extracted at a higher temperature. As a result, if the Gyokuro tea temperature you use is too high, you will extract more catechins and more bitterness from the tea leaves. This is why it's incredibly important to use a lower temperature water for your Gyokuro green tea. You can even cold brew the Gyokuro green tea for a smooth and refreshing drink to enjoy in the summertime. What is the best temperature for Gyokuro? The best temperature for Gyokuro is 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. This will make sure that you extract plenty of flavor from the leaves without extracting much of the bitterness. You can use 5 grams of leaves, 150 milliliters of water, and a brewing time of 2 minutes to give the leaves enough time to open up and fully release their flavor into the water. Gyokuro tea is meant to be a celebration of these sweet and savory flavors, which come from the theanine. Luckily for Gyokuro drinkers, the theanine can be extracted at a lower temperature. When you use a lower Gyokuro tea brewing temperature, you extract all of the sweetness with none of the bitterness. You also get a lower caffeine green tea, which can be helpful as Gyokuro tends to contain a lot of caffeine. Where can you find Gyokuro tea? Now that you know the best temperature for Gyokuro, you are ready to prepare your own. After traveling around Japan for the past few years, we've met with dozens of farmers and sampled many different Gyokuro teas. We have found that the Gyokuro produced by Mr. Sakamoto truly is in a league of its own. He has been producing Gyokuro tea without the use of pesticides or chemicals since 1985, and during this time he has developed his own organic fertilizer. He says that this fertilizer not only makes the tea plant strong, but also makes the tea more flavorful. He is able to grow great tasting green tea in this field without harming the natural ecosystem. The most popular Gyokuro from Mr. Sakamoto is the Cha Musume. This tea is made using the Yabukita cultivar, which is the most common tea variety in Japan. This tea has a nice sweetness, a direct savory flavor, and some pleasant floral notes. Try this tea out for yourself and let us know what you think. When you order tea from us, you're not only helping to support this channel, you're also helping us to support the dozens of talented farmers we work with all around Japan. We hope that by sharing these farmers' stories and their teas with people all around the world, we can help to transition the tea industry into a more positive, sustainable direction. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about green tea, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next time.